Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the perfumes that I love so much that I absolutely need backups. These are the perfumes that I feel like once I run out, I have to have these backups on hand just in case these get discontinued or they're hard to find for whatever reason. Just a couple of these are actually discontinued, so I'm glad that I have these backups. But the majority of these that I'm going to share today aren't even discontinued. I just have backups because I need backups. These are my safe perfumes, meaning I can always wear them and I always know I'm gonna love how they smell. Not that I don't love my other perfumes, but I feel like if you have a large perfume collection, you know what I mean by this. There's a lot of perfumes in my collection, like for example, Haute Couture comes to mind by Givenchy. That is one of my favorite perfumes for life. If all my perfumes could disappear right now, that is one perfume I would need out of like maybe 10 to start up my collection back again. The reason why I don't have a backup of a scent like that, for example, is because first of all, I have a 100ml bottle of that. It's huge, and I wouldn't really call that perfume an easy reach type fragrance because I don't personally wear that every single day. That is more special occasion worthy to me, or if I'm actually gonna go out and do something, not just at home or go run errands, go grocery shopping. Like, I'm not gonna waste that perfume for something like that. Also, it is super strong. You could literally wear that perfume every single day, and because you don't use much of it, you're not gonna see that big of a dent, even if you are consistently using it every day. Whereas with these perfumes, they're more easy to use up. Like, I feel like if I focus on any one of these perfumes for like 2 weeks straight, I could probably use these bottles up. So that's another reason why I have backups of them. I'm gonna also do the body mist version of this video. I literally have everything set up for it, so I'm gonna film it right after I'm done with this video, and that will also be up soon, so stay tuned for that as well. Before we get into this video, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. First up, MAC turquatic. I actually recently finished a bigger bottle of MAC turquatic that I had for a while, and I so regret buying this little, what is this? It's not even a 1 fluid ounce, it's 0.68 fluid ounces. I don't know what I was thinking buying this tiny little thing, because this is one of my go-to fragrances, and this perfume I spray. When I spray this perfume, I spray. So it's a very easy scent to get through. If I focused on this bottle, especially this little 0.68 fluid ounce, I could probably finish this in like a week if I was using it every single day, maybe even less than that. I don't know. The way I use perfumes anyway, I actually just started using it for the past couple days, kind of consistently, and I've already made a nice little dent with it. So I'm telling you, if I were to focus on this will be done very quickly. This is a very woody, citrusy, aromatic type scent. It is so sexy. Fresh perfumes are in a way sexy, at least in my opinion. This is a sexy one. If you love the scent profile of wood, sage, and sea salt, this kind of falls into that. They're not dupes by any means. So for this, I have a backup right here, and I bought the 1.7 fluid ounce, which is the only big size that they have of this. I don't think they have a bigger size than the 1.7, and you can just see the difference. There's a lot more juice in here. I always have to have MAC turquatic on hand. I've been using this scent since I was in high school, and I think for just a small period of time I went without this, and then when I rediscovered it again, I never stopped, and I don't think I ever will, because this is one of my, I would say one of my like signature type scents. Another big favorite of mine is this KKW. She put out this fragrance when she was still putting out perfumes. By the way, I know that she kind of launched her makeup line, and I think she's gonna relaunch her fragrances. So we'll see what she does with her new perfumes to come, but this is from her old KKW line, and this was a collab that she did with Kayali. There was 2 other perfumes in this release. So there was the pink lips, which is this one. She also came out with this nude lips one, which is also a huge favorite of mine, and a red one, which I didn't really love. It was very floral, but this one and the nude one were sweet, they were sexy, and if I could find a backup of that nude one, I honestly would also have a backup of that, but I just never have been able to find it. I ended up seeing this one, like another bottle of it at Nordstrom Rack for like 20 something dollars, and I'm like, yes, I need this. It kind of reminds me of Juicy Couture Bodacious, which is another one I would have a backup of if it wasn't discontinued and super hard to find, but I feel like this is the closest that I can kind of get to it. It has this very pink vibe. I know the bottles are pink, but literally when you smell this, it is like the girliest fragrance ever. I believe there's like coconut in here, but this is such a sexy coconut scent. I need backups on top of backups on top of backups of this scent because I truly cannot get enough of it, and it sucks so bad that these are only little, are these even 1 fluid ounce? I don't know, they don't say anywhere. I'm pretty sure they're 1, and this whole top part is just the cap, so this is really where the fragrance is at, and it's just like nothing. I use these kind of sparingly just because I'm like afraid to run out of them, but at the same time I'm like, I need to use these up because I love this. It's a struggle, guys. If you're a perfume collector, if you're obsessed with fragrances and you love like a certain scent that has been discontinued and it's super hard to find and you have it in your collection, I'm sure you also feel the same way because you're like, I want to use it because I love it, but then if I use it, I run out of it. So it's a whole struggle. And then JLo Miami Glow. I feel like this is a given. This is not a shock to anybody that's been watching my channel for a long time. I'm absolutely obsessed with this perfume. I honestly would have like 25 backups of this, but I mean, I don't know, I feel like that's not really acceptable. I feel like 2 was like, okay, you really love that scent, and then if I had like 3, 4, that's like, okay, pushing it. You could find this on Amazon, you could find it a lot of places, so it's not that hard to find, but this scent, this is like me in a perfume. I have never been able to find a scent that even comes close to how JLo Miami Glow smells. This is, I mean, it's truly summer in a bottle. It does not get more summer than JLo Miami Glow. This scent does something to me. If all my perfumes were to disappear right now, this is the one perfume I would need back faster than any one of my perfumes. And there's a lot that I really love, but this, I cannot do without this. I'm so annoyed at myself because before I finish a bottle, I start using the other one. And I'm pretty sure I've sprayed a couple times of this one. But as you can see, this one is kind of getting down there. I love this. If you are in need of the most perfect summertime scent that doesn't smell too sunscreeny, I feel like this maybe has a touch of sunscreen in it. When it dries down, it is heavenly. It is one of the best smells. If I could have this in a candle, a car freshener, a room freshener, literally if I could just have this scent surrounding me at all times, I would. Another one that I absolutely love is Tease by Victoria's Secret. If you don't know, this is like a nice little dupe to Viva La Juicy by Juicy Couture, but in my opinion, this is even better. I recently just decluttered my Viva La Juicy because I had it in my collection. I had made a nice little dent in it, but I'm like, why do I have this perfume if I only ever gravitate towards this one? And they're super similar, but this is better, it's stronger, it lasts on me longer, and I could barely even smell the Viva La Juicy. I don't know if that was like a new formulation of it. It was super light, especially when compared to Tease. Tease has been another one, much like MAC Turquatic, that I have been using for absolute years. Like if my mom were to smell this, if the people that know me best were to smell this, they would say, oh, this perfume smells like you. This is like me in a perfume. This was my signature perfume, I guess you could say, for a very long time. I feel like this and Ari were like the first 2 perfumes that I used religiously. They were my signatures. That was what I was using before my collection got to as big as it is right now, and me having a YouTube channel and everything. This and Ari were like my pre-YouTube, pre-super fragrance obsession started. And of course, I have a backup. This is a 3.4 bottle backup, so it's huge. I'm gonna have this for a long time. And this one is just like a 1.7 fluid ounce. I made a nice little dent in it because this is one of those scents I'm always grabbing no matter what. I mean, sometimes if I wanna change it up a bit, I'll layer it with something else in my collection just for the sake of using more fragrances up since I have such a huge collection, but this will forever and ever be a go-to. And speaking of go-to fragrances, Dolce by Dolce & Gabbana. As you can see, I am almost halfway done with this perfume. This is one of those scents that I picked up not really on a whim. I mean, I thought I was gonna really like it, although I did not expect to fall in love with it and for this perfume to turn into one of my top 10 fragrances for life. My nose has definitely evolved. If you've been with me since the start of my channel, you would know that I started off loving just like the sweetest of the sweetest, girliest, juvenile, I guess you could say, type fragrances. Just sweet scents. I used to reiterate how much I wasn't into freshies. And the more I've gotten into perfumes, I've smelled so many, I've gotten so into fresh fragrances. This one, well, this and another one that I'm going to show you next, which I also have a backup of, they're like my top 2 freshies for life. And MAC Turquatic, I freaking love that one as well. And it's funny because it's called Dolce and it's not sweet at all. It's just like florally and fruity. It has this aquatic vibe to it, I would say. It's a bit aromatic. Oh my god, it smells like melons to me. It smells like fresh blooming flowers and fresh green juicy melons. I cannot get enough of this perfume. I get so many compliments on this one. It's just one of those that's super crowd pleasing in the most non-basic way ever. And I have this backup. I actually recently bought this backup on fragrancenet.com because I'm like, I need this. And this one is a 1.6 fluid ounce, but I got a backup of the 2.5 just so I could have it for a long time because, again, this is one of the scents that I cannot live without in my fragrance collection. And then another freshie that has ended up being one of my favorites, I would put this kind of in the same category as Dolce. It's like Dolce and Givenchy Irresistible are like my top 2 go-tos. This one, though, is a lot more sweet. It has this makeup-y sort of scent, and I did a whole video of perfumes that smell like makeup. This was one of them. Because this has iris just gives perfumes that sort of makeup powder kind of scent. This is not really powdery. It's more like musky and it's sweet. There's this really vibrant, juicy pear in this that gives this so much sweetness, and when mixed with all the other notes in here, it is just such a pretty fragrance. This is one of my most complimented perfumes, like, ever. If I wear this, I'm gonna be complimented. This is a perfume where I think it's super versatile. You could wear this running just mundane, everyday errands. Also, this could easily take you to like a date night or something more special like that because it just has this capability of adapting to different occasions, and you're just gonna smell out of this world. Irresistible. You're gonna smell irresistible. It's the perfect name for it. And here's my backup of Irresistible. This is a 2.7 fluid ounce, and this one is, I can't even read it, 1.1. So definitely a lot bigger, and as you can see, I think, yeah, more than halfway done with this because it's just so easy to just pick up and wear. That's why a lot of these perfumes I have backup, because if I'm wearing them the most, I'm obviously using them up the most. Going more back to my roots now with more of a super sweet fragrance. This is more juvenile, I guess you could say. This is Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth. This is like a white chocolate creamy sweet fragrance. It's leaning on the gourmand side, but it's not totally gourmand, which is something that I really love about it because it's not total cakiness, but it will make you smell edible in a sexy way because it has also this perfumey touch. One of the absolute best celebrity perfumes. I actually had 3 celebrity perfumes. This fragrance lasts forever. I get compliments on this. My husband really loves this. It's, again, very pink smelling and super girly. I love layering this up. If I want to smell really edible and I just want to smell like a snack, this is the scent that I go for. So yeah. And speaking of smell like a snack, but in a perfumey sexy way, Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato. This perfume is such a huge favorite that every time I wear it, I'm like hypnotized by it. I've made a nice little dent. I'm at about here, and this is like a newer-ish scent. I mean, I've had this for a few months, but in my collection, to have this much of a dent in a scent that I've only had for just a few months, that's how I know I really love it. You guys saw my collection. You just saw my collection recently in my declutter video. You would have seen in that video how many perfumes that I have. So just imagine trying to use up all those perfumes. It's very hard to make a dent into any one specific perfume. So the fact that I've only had this for a little bit and I've made this big of a dent, I'm like, I'm I'm gonna need a backup of that because this is gonna be done very, very soon. And this is such a huge favorite. Another reason why this is an easy scent to make a dent into is because for me to make this scent to last, I have to overspray. That's not a bad thing necessarily. I mean, it sucks that you have to use more of the fragrance, I guess, but I go a little bit more heavy than normal with this scent. And if I do that, the scent literally lasts on me for like 3 days straight. I wear this to bed so many times. I don't know why. This is such a cozy going to bed scent. For me, I could definitely use this not going to bed as well. It's amazing. But for some reason, this has been such an intoxicating bedtime scent for me. My husband really loves it and it makes me feel so warm and yummy. And it's called Yum Pistachio Gelato. The pistachio is definitely there in this, but it's also wrapped up in this bed of creamy, fluffy deliciousness. There's marshmallow in here, there's whipped cream, so it's super, super creamy. There's something so fluffy and creamy surrounding that pistachio. It also has a bit of a freshness, so it's not total gourmand, which I actually have fallen in love with that in this perfume because it doesn't make me smell like complete cake. You know, there's a time and a place for something like that, but I feel like more so for everyday going out, I don't always love to smell like actual cake, if that makes sense. That type of scent for me is more of like a cozy type of scent. If I'm just at home, I want to smell cozy, I'm watching a cozy movie, that's how I want to smell. But for going out, I like to smell a little bit more perfumey, a little bit sexier, and that's pretty much what this scent does, while also giving you a good amount of that edible sugary deliciousness. This has pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy. I recently ended up picking up the 3.4 100ml bottle. I didn't even know that they made this big of a bottle. I thought that the 1.7 fluid ounce, which is this, was just like their standard size because that's all the fragrances that I have from Kayali. And when I saw that they made the size, I had to get the size. And then the last scent is Cloud. Now, I love this DNA so much. And let's just say Baccarat Rouge, which I have in my collection and I love, I'm gonna need to use that bottle up before I can even think about getting a new one of that, because that's just not a scent that I can easily, I'm just gonna grab a backup of, because that perfume is almost $400. So yeah, but a huge favorite of mine that is kind of similar scent profile, and I know Cloud has been named like the perfect dupe of Baccarat Rouge. I personally don't think so. I think they're very, very close. They're definitely in the same family of fragrances, but they're more so cousins to me than like immediate family. There's definitely a similarity to them, but Cloud is way more creamy, more lactonic, feels a little bit more gourmandish to me than Baccarat does. Baccarat just smells more expensive, and it is more expensive. The backup that I actually have of Cloud is actually of Cloud 2.0, which I actually decluttered in my collection a long time ago because I was really excited for Cloud 2.0 to come out, and then when it came out and it smelled exactly like the OG Cloud to me, I was like, I don't really need this, so I decluttered it. But because I have only a one fluid ounce of Cloud, this scent smells so good. This is another one that is very cozy to me. It's so good. It has coconut in it, but it's literally the most unique kind of coconut ever. And I'm sure everybody knows at this point what this scent smells like because the whole world has fallen in love with Cloud. But I picked up Cloud 2.0 because this has just a little bit more like creamy notes in it, and there's really not much of a difference scent-wise between these two. I just think this one has a bit more depth in it. It's just a scent I feel like I always have to have on hand because I'm really, really in love with the scent profile of Baccarat, Cloud, and that type of category of scents. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These are all the perfumes that I have backups of. Let me know in the comments if you have scents like this that you just need backups on hand and which perfumes they are. There's definitely, like I said, other perfumes that I could easily have backups of because I love, that were not shown in this video. I just feel like, I don't know, these are just the ones that I just need my backups on hand. But that is it for me today. Let me know which backups you have in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.